I met my producer, Yanni is his name. I met him just before the pandemic hit. Like I think a few months before this whole thing happened, we met, we started working together. So I was super fortunate to have met him at the time. We actually decided to move in together because when everything hit, because I was like, well, we want to record a song, we want to do all these things, but I don't want to have to self isolate for 2 weeks every time I see you and after I get home, like, so we were like, we can't go anywhere else. So why don't we just move in together and just make music? So we did it. And that's where Pretty Before Daylight and Speak of the Devil came from. So yeah, that was I was super fortunate to be able to do that. That's not something I think a lot of artists can say they were able to do. Some challenges though with the mental health for sure. I think the isolation, even though I'm an introvert, I still have like, social needs. Like I still need to talk to people. And I think for the first like 6 months, I was like, okay, I was like, all right, this is fine. But after that point, I was kind of like, okay, I really want to like see my family, see my friends, and like it got a little, I don't know, I got a little depressed for sure. I think we all did. Um, yeah, I had that need for social interaction, and we just couldn't do it. Um, so yeah.
So with you and your producer both quarantined together, living in the same space, is that where you recorded the songs or you recorded elsewhere?
Yeah, he had a home studio already, so that worked out really well. We recorded all of it in his basement, and yeah.
Yeah, the recordings sound great. Like they sound
Thank you.
super
Yeah,
professional.
yeah, he's a super talented engineer and producer. He knows what he's doing.
How frustrated were you during those 2 years where you couldn't perform live? Because I know playing live is like your favorite thing.
For sure. I think that I definitely developed a deeper appreciation for live music and performing live. I don't know. I before it was Now I don't really get as nervous as I used to because it's like give it your all because you don't know when the next time you're going to be able to do this is. Like things could change in a second. And I think the pandemic taught us that. So yeah, I honestly I didn't start feeling the effects of the performing probably for the first year or so. My introverted self was like comfortable. I was like, okay, this is okay. Like I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't, probably in a worse spot where I could have been. Um, so yeah, I started feeling that probably about a year in. I was like, I really just want to play. Like I just want to play live, especially with other people. That was one thing. I couldn't play with other people. And uh which I'm super excited to be playing with a full band on the 20th, July 20th, again for the first time. So that's been super fun. But yeah, I definitely found it frustrating for sure.
And that show is at the supermarket in Toronto.
Yes, it is.
And who are the
Mhm.
other artists on the bill? It looks like two other female singer
Yeah.
songwriters.
Yeah, I have Rachel Hickey and Avery Raquel. Yeah, they're super talented. I'm so excited to be playing alongside them.
That's a legendary venue as well.
Yes, it is.
I started by playing the open mics there. So on Sundays they have free fall Sundays, hosted
Mhm.
by Tony Rabello, who is the drummer for Joy Drop, and oh man, there's one other person that hosted. But anyways, um, that's a great venue. I hosted different events there. Like I actually booked the venue and booked bands there, and
Oh, that's
that's a great
awesome.
spot. Like you can
Yeah.
fit a good number of people in there. The location is awesome. Did you pick up any new hobbies during the pandemic? Some people like started, gardens. Some people started baking. Anything new come up for you or what?
Yeah, definitely. I started baking. More recently I've started actually like making my own bread, which is like it's become a weekly tradition now. Um, yeah, that's something that I started doing. Baking. I definitely became a foodie in those 2 years. Um, my boyfriend is an amazing cook, so I he made me a foodie for sure, and I have like a deep appreciation for good food. Um, so that changed. I never used to be a foodie, and like my family isn't like super big on cooking and food, so it was completely something I wasn't expecting. But yeah.
So if I wanted to be able to start labeling myself a foodie, what would I have to do to check off all the boxes?
I think, I don't know. I think
Is
some
it just
people
like a
think,
love of food? Is it like always looking for the best restaurants? Is it cooking yourself? What is a foodie? I want to be a foodie. How do I love food. I eat way too much of it. Does that count? No, probably not.
no, I relate. I think a foodie can be like defined as someone who like just has a deep appreciation for good food, you know? I think some people think that it means that you just like eating a lot, which I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think it's more like you know what good food is and you appreciate it when you have it, you know?
Well, I have a quote here from a good Italian that really knows his food. This is probably a foodie. So this is from Alf Annabellini. So
Oh, yes, Alf.
he is a member of the supergroup Envy of None with Alex Lifeson
Mm,
from Rush. And as an engineer and producer and mixer, he's also worked with the Arkells, Tea Party, Our Lady Peace, DMX, Blue Rodeo, I'm Mother Earth, Nelly Furtado. So this is a powerhouse in the entertainment
totally.
industry, and he was our guest on episode number 56. And what's awesome is that episode came out, and he's super humble, and there's a 2-year plus history of this podcast, and his episode went I think it's the second most played episode we've ever had. Like, just people love Alf, people love Envy of None. And this
Mm.
is what he has to say. He says, Cassidy shows great artistic depth for someone so early in her musical journey. Please tell her I say hello. So that's from Alf.
Oh, hi, Alf. It's been a long time.
It's how long ago were you a student? Was he a teacher of yours at one
He
point?
was, yeah. He taught me I believe it was a mixing course, something to do with mixing and production. But yeah, I learned so much from him. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he has such a like laid back and
Hmm.
comforting vibe. He's just like,
Totally.
you just want to go give him a hug. Hey man, thanks
Yeah.
thanks for being my teacher.